Myself, Dr. Randhir Bagi from the PIT CSE department. First of all, very good afternoon, sir. Mr. Jadip,
Good
sir.
afternoon. Good
And
afternoon.
I welcome you from my side as well from the Parul behalf.
Thank you.
And here we had, as per the schedule, we have discussed for the Next.js.
Mhm.
So can you please take over for this?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay. Good afternoon, all. Today our topic is Next.js. We will start. Okay.
So please share the PPT so that we can.
Okay. I'll share my
Okay.
screen. Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. So today's our topic is Next.js introductory part. So basically, Next.js is a React framework. Nowadays, most of the people and in companies using React.js, Vue.js, and AngularJS and that type of things for front end. But there are some complications related to SEO. So Next.js has a solution for that, and it is very good with SEO because Next.js framework is a it's good with static website. It generated a full build with all the static data, so Google Spider and other search engine can optimize it very easily and it's very effectively. If you have a very large applications, that time might be Next.js don't work properly, but for small applications or static websites, it's a pretty good thing. Okay, so let's start with Next.js. Okay, you need something to run Next.js in your locally. First thing is a Node.js. Okay, so Node.js, uh, you can download Node.js from this it's Node.js website. Currently, 16.13.1 version is available for it. You can download it for Windows, Mac, or Linux for that. Okay. Secondary thing, you need any text editor. I personally prefer Visual Studio Code. So today I'll use it. So these two basic things you need for it. Third thing is a package manager. You can use npm or yarn, but in most of the companies, people use yarn because it's faster than npm. Okay, so let's start with the installation of Next.js. First of all, you install Visual Studio Code, and open a terminal. Okay, now let's we check for a node and other things. So we can check nodes. In my laptop, there is 14.17.3 version for Node, and we can check also Git version. Okay, you need a Git version for the managing the code with your team. Okay, you need a uh, you need to install this Git in your local machine, and after that you can use GitHub, GitLab, or Gitbucket, anything for uh, maintain it or manage it with your team, because you need to develop some part of code and your colleague develop other part of code and your senior review it. So we can manage easily with the GitHub or GitLab. We can manage it easily with this software. Okay, and for hosting purpose, it's also recommended to use GitHub or GitLab. So for the installation of Node.js, you can use npm create npm-app latest. This command is for the npm, and second one is for the yarn. Both works fine, both works same thing. Okay, but today we will use yarn. I installed GitHub UI software for the easily understanding of the this Git version and managing it. So firstly, you run this command yarn create next step, and after that, system asks you to for the app name. Like we can, okay, I named it pu next.js. So now it's installing all the packages in my local machine. So it takes some few seconds, and after that it will work fine. Okay, now it's installing. Okay, so meanwhile, I'll tell you how to set up it. So use this one for JavaScript, and if you use TypeScript, that time this command for npm, and this second one is for yarn. After that, you have to run the server, and it automatically installing these packages. So we don't worry about the server thing and all the of that things. Okay, now in 73 seconds, Next.js is installed in my local machine. So we go to the that folder. Okay, so this is the one Next.js basic template. Right. Now I'm giving you some basic info about the Git, or how to manage it and how to maintain it. Okay, the first of install the template, then you need to create a repository or push at it. So we can use this UI. We can do it from command line or from this software also. Okay. Choose your folder, choose your root folder. I selected my root folder and add repository. Okay, and publish repository. So it will automatically publish to my GitHub account. Now, this is my GitHub account. Let's find our just refresh it once. So we can find our repository here. This is the basic Next.js template. Okay, we can maintaining branches from here and pull requests and that type of stuff. So it's a very easy process in development. Okay, now we'll start our server. For starting our server, for npm package, write this command in your terminal, npm run dev, or for yarn, write this command yarn dev. We are using yarn, so I write yarn dev. The yarn dev starts the server on HTTP localhost 3000. Now server started, we can go to the website. Yeah. So now Next.js works fine in our local machine. You can see it is working properly. There is no error and nothing. Now I'll tell you something about the template thing. Okay, starts from the bottom. This is the yarn log file. Okay, there are different types of packages. So yarn log, or if you use npm, then there is an npm log. So it stores the data of the packages. So in the future, if someone else try to uh, update your code or try to install your code in their machine, so that time no error comes because of this specification. Okay. Second one is the readme.md file. In readme.md file, you can write about your project and how to start it, what is the project, and that type of thing. This is the by default readme.md file for Node.js. So they gave us an instruction like npm start from npm run dev or npm run yarn dev, like this. For base terminal, base is basically used for the Windows machine. Windows don't have the Linux system, so we use base terminal to integrate Linux code or Linux command and that type of things. Yeah, because Windows is a private private OS, right? So it has some limitations, but Linux is an open source. So for development purpose, Linux is far better than Windows, and also Mac. Mac is basically on Linux, so it is the same thing. Okay, so these are some predefined instruction for Next.js. Second one is the package.json file. Package.json file is a main file of any repository or any template or any code, because in all the main information are stored in package.json file, like name. What is the name of our project? It's a PU Next.js, right? Second thing is private. Yeah. Third is script. What is the script? The script mainly used to run the server, generate a build, start or lint or that type of command. When we use this, basically all things. If you want to start the server, then yarn dev. So it runs the command next dev and our Next.js starts. If you want after your completion of code and project, you want to generate a build for hosting purpose or sharing purpose or anything, that time you need to run command next build. So you need to write yarn build in your terminal and it generates a build for you. Second is the dependencies, because you can't share your all dependencies code in hosting. Okay, so here in dependencies, specific name and its version. So when you host your code with this package.json file, that time that remote server takes from here and installed in that system. So can our project runs fine. Okay, this is dev dependencies, means development dependencies. Development dependencies is only for development purpose. Like you have some format or something to not some dependencies you not send to the server. It's only for your text editor or only for your basic purposes. So that time these dependencies stores in dev dependencies. These dev dependencies doesn't go to the uh, server, so it won't install in your server, but it won't affect your project. So it's only for a basic purpose. So these are dev dependencies and dependencies. Next is the next config file. Uh, yeah, because sometimes you need to configure Next.js according to your project and requirements. So that time you use this next.config.js. I'll give you one example. If you use any CSS libraries like Bootstrap or Tailwind, so that time you need to modify this config file, right? If you install Tailwind CSS, that time you need to modify this config file, and according to this configuration, Tailwind works fine with your Next.js project. Second one is a gitignore file. Okay, so gitignore file has that type of link where you suppose you have some API links, some Docker links, some Amazon Amazon server links for your data. So you can't host it in the front end because it's a memory leak or a privacy issue, or anyone can read your data easily. So mostly you can do a path in this gitignore, and your that type of file won't go to the server specific. And mostly you use mostly node modules, and not we are not sending node modules to the server, because if we send node modules, then it's a very heavy file, and it will take time, because number of files in node modules, like you can, so right, it's basically the repository, sorry, it basically the packages. So it's not a good practice to send your node modules to the server. So we can for gitignore, it won't allow us to send that file or specific folder. Next one is the electrics.json file. Fic repository. Okay. Next one is the styles. There is a global style and home module style. Okay. It's by default, we can change it. This global styles means all the project's main style, main structure style. Like, okay, I can run this in different browser. So this is the main structural file. So main structure CSS stores in globals file, and in for components, for mainly components, or for main heading, or that type of small CSS stores in home module styles. You can create many home modules, right? This one is the public folder. Public folder is basically for your stores the images and for and other your stuff, like this. Okay, so this image, right? So here, yeah, this is an icon, right? So this is icon stores there. And secondly, this is the svg file, so it stores here. Third thing is public folder is when you this is the a static website, right? But when you want to change the content, that time you need an admin panel. But if you use regular methods, then you need code operations and backend support and that type of things. So you can use Netlify CMS and or any other CMS. So when you use that type of CMS, that time you stores in this public folder. Because of this in public folder, so for that public folder, you can access that particular admin part and change the content, images, whatever you want. So public folder is a very important folder for this. Okay. Second, next folder is pages. If you need some JSON files, so you need to store that somewhere. For login, sign up, and logout system, you need some APIs from backend. So that time you stores here in API folder. Okay, this is the empty folder because right now we don't have any API. Next is this app.js file. Oh, and index.js file is mainly for your home file. It's like your home. If I change any content here, like I change here next.js to PU. Okay, so it changed to the, yeah, this is your home file, root file. And app.js is it just combine all of your pages, your components, your all of your stuff. So this is the main file for the rendering. So in here, all the components are redirect to here, and it load to the Next.js. Next folder is node modules. Okay, I already told about a little bit about this. All your Next.js packages, your external packages, external anything libraries, external code, all of the things stores in node modules. Next is a .next folder. Mainly .next folder is for the Next.js purpose. Okay, here you store cache memory like images and webpack and that thing, because it's a not a React, it's a React framework. So mainly works React, but something stores here like server, okay, server thing and static thing. Okay, so how is different from React? If you want to do some routing in React or any other front-end JavaScript frameworks, that time you need to do some code and use some external library or React libraries. But in Next.js, they gave us pages, right? Pages system. So this one is the index.js. So I delete all the code and I'll show you how it works. Okay, now look. This is our home page. If you write anything inside this your page, so this is the your home page, and it rendered to the home direct to hit your base URL. Next, if you specify the route in this thing, suppose let's create a about page, then you do nothing, just create a file. Okay, and write a function component or class component. We will use here a function component with ES6. When you write return, then all your HTML, CSS code, you have to write all your HTML, CSS code in return. So this system understands what to display and it display. Okay, now let's rewrite about page. Okay, for here we need to put default date. We have only one component, so we can use export default, otherwise we use only export. Okay, so we write this particular code for about page. Now if we change the route like about, then it returns to the about page. Okay. We'll give h1 tag. Now this is about page. Let's suppose we have write the profile page, right? So there are two ways to display route. One is direct, you can write a file, and second thing is you create a folder, profile name, and create a file index.js. This one is your next. This is next thing. Mainly write don't forget to export default, otherwise it won't work. works fine. Now we go with the if we have nested routing. Suppose we have a block page, right? So firstly we create a block folder. Inside block folder we can write a index.js file. Okay, so this is the main file. Let's write function. In most of the case use const because for var and let values change, but const is a unique value. System can't change the value of const, so mostly function write in the const variable. And always use uppercase for the first alphabet. Okay. So this is the same thing. Let's check it works or not. Yeah, it works. H1 take. Okay. Now suppose if we have five number of blocks, block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4, and block 5. So how to create that? Okay, so nothing, just create block 1.js. Second is block 2.js. Third file is block 3.js. I close this all the files. Now go to the block 1. Now copy paste this code to the all the blocks. Right? Just change the name. It's block 2. Okay, so now let's check. So this is the block. Under the block 1, yeah, it works. Block 2 and block 3. Okay, now we go back to our use nested routing, direct routing, dynamic routing, all of this thing in this like this. Okay. Next, we can. Okay, so it's not a good idea to write all of the code this tab again and again. So we need to create a component, and if we have one component, then we can render it in our any page, and that time it fetch the data and your HTML or CSS code and all things from that component and render into the page. So how to do it? So let's start. First of close this page folder. Okay, go to the root folder and create a folder name components. Inside component, declare any file, any JavaScript file. Let's suppose we declare name.js file. Okay, so for name.js file, we write a one component. Let's suppose student name. Okay, we write here XYZ. Default name. Okay, now open our index file, basic file. Go to the pages. Yeah, this is our index file and this is our about file. Okay, so for index file, firstly import it in X